This time, the theme is that talent is not something you find, it is something you remember. With that said, let's begin. Talent is not something hidden somewhere far away. It has been quietly sleeping within you all along. Sometimes, the thought suddenly crosses your mind, I wish I had studied harder back then. Many people feel left behind whenever they see others their age earning qualifications or building successful careers. But behind that regret lies another story. Was the time you didn't spend studying really wasted? If you pause and look back, you may realize that those very moments planted the seeds of the creativity and sensitivity that shaped who you are today. The nights you spent going out. The mistakes you kept making even after being told to stop. The afternoons when you lost yourself drawing pictures and wandering through your imagination. Every one of those experiences became part of the person you are today. In this video, I'll share a way of thinking that can transform regret into talent, along with practical ways to remember the talents you've always had instead of searching for new ones. We'll explore why even the time you regret had meaning, why talent is something to remember rather than discover, how detours can become your greatest strengths, and how breaking your talents into smaller pieces can help you use them in your work and daily life. Many people who believe they have no talent may simply have forgotten that they have already been using it all along. As children, everyone has experienced becoming so absorbed in something that they completely lost track of time. Drawing pictures. Imagining stories. Imitating someone's voice just for fun. Looking back now, those were genuine expressions of creativity. But as we grow older, grades, qualifications, and other measurable achievements become the standards by which we are judged. The qualities that are harder to measure, our sensitivity, imagination, and creativity, are often left behind. As a result, many people forget that they ever possessed those gifts. There is no need to panic and chase after new talents. What matters is carefully uncovering what your younger self already had. Today, countless books and videos promise to teach you how to find your talent. Yet the harder some people search, the more anxious they become, until they eventually lose sight of themselves. That's because as long as you believe your talent exists somewhere outside of you, you'll never truly feel satisfied with the answer. Instead of searching the outside world, revisit the memories already living within you. Think about what fascinated you as a child. What made you lose track of time? What you kept doing even when people told you to stop. As you gather those fragments of memory one by one, the outline of your true self gradually begins to appear. Before exhausting yourself searching for answers elsewhere, give yourself time to stop and reflect on your past. Ironically, that is often the shortest path. Don't rush toward conclusions. Leave yourself enough space to slowly trace your memories. Some people carry guilt over the nights they spent partying or the mistakes they repeated despite being warned not to. But those experiences were never meaningless. Knowing the atmosphere of the nightlife. Knowing what it feels like to rebel against adults. Knowing how to stand back up after failure. These are forms of living knowledge that no textbook can teach. People who only focused on studying have never seen the same landscapes as those who took detours. And seeing those landscapes gives your words a depth and authenticity that cannot easily be imitated. Rather than locking away memories of failure and rebellion as something shameful, try seeing them as part of your unique experience. Instead of focusing on what you lost, ask yourself what you brought back from those experiences. Likewise, some people think the hours they spent doodling in the corners of their notebooks or staring out the classroom window lost in imagination were a waste. But those moments became the soil where their unique worldview quietly grew. Stepping away from reality to build imaginary worlds inside your mind is a powerful way to develop creativity. Many people who later become drawn to creative work spent much of their childhood lost in daydreams. Even if no one appreciated it at the time, those moments were nurturing your imagination. The periods that once seemed aimless may actually have been preparing your talents to mature. The moments that felt meaningless often become the memories that stay with us the longest. So how can regret be transformed into talent? The first step is not simply remembering your past, but putting those memories into words. Write them on paper. Or type them into your phone. Ask yourself, What was I completely absorbed in? When did I lose track of time? Write down whatever comes to mind. As you continue writing, common themes often begin to emerge. If you always loved listening to people, perhaps you've always had the gift of empathy. If you loved making things with your hands, perhaps you've been developing craftsmanship all your life. The act of carefully revisiting your past becomes a process of rediscovering yourself. Simply reading your notes later may reveal patterns you never noticed before. On the other hand, if you measure yourself only by visible standards such as education, qualifications, or income, a life filled with detours may seem inferior. But those standards are merely tools society created for convenience. They do not determine your true worth. When you force yourself into society's measuring stick, everything that doesn't fit begins to look like a flaw. Yet those very parts often contain your uniqueness and originality. Take a step back from society's standards and view your past through your own eyes. You'll be surprised by how much your perspective changes. A winding path is not an inferior one. It's simply a different road. When you stop comparing yourself with others and instead compare yourself with your past self, regret becomes much lighter. From here on, simply believing you have talent isn't enough to make use of it in everyday life. The important step is breaking your talent into smaller, practical skills. Suppose you love drawing. Perhaps your strength isn't drawing itself. Maybe you're especially good at drawing people. Or choosing colors. Or carefully observing and capturing tiny details. Each of these is its own ability. If you loved creating imaginary worlds, perhaps your real strength lies in storytelling. Or creating emotionally believable characters. Breaking your talent into smaller pieces makes your strengths much easier to understand. Instead of seeing talent as one enormous gift, think of it as a collection of many small abilities. That immediately creates far more ways to use it. Then choose one small ability that fits naturally into your current life. Once you've remembered your talents and broken them down, the next step is simple: try something small. There's no need to chase huge results right away. Write a short paragraph. Draw a simple sketch. Spend time listening to someone's story. By repeating these small actions, your hidden talents gradually begin taking shape. As you continue, you may receive unexpected reactions from others. Those reactions are often signs that the talents you had forgotten are finally coming back to life. The years you spent taking detours. The regrets you've carried. Every one of them became the materials that brought you to this moment. Small actions, repeated consistently, have the potential to grow into strengths powerful enough to support your life. The regret of wishing you had studied harder may still return from time to time. But beneath that regret lies the creativity and sensitivity you developed during the time you spent doing something else. The nights out. The mistakes you were scolded for. The afternoons spent lost in imagination. Every one of them became part of who you are today. Talent is not something waiting somewhere far away. It has been patiently waiting inside your past all along. Take a moment to stop. Gently gather the memories you've left behind. What you'll discover may not be a brand new version of yourself. It may simply be the person you were always meant to become.